spooks, spies, soundtracks. This is what we played in the month of October. Every month I pick a different theme for my programs that I do for memory care units and senior facilities. This month's repertoire, we're doing songs from the cinema, the music of the silver screen. I love to dress up, and the quickest way to put on a musical costume is to play movie soundtracks. You get it all. You get drama, romance, action, thrills, sinister spookiness. I do a different program every month because I play in a lot of senior communities, Alzheimer's units, memory care, so I tend to skew my films toward classics that they would recognize and enjoy. If I'm playing for people my age or younger, like my goth barista or some of my brides, we skew a lot more recent in our movies. I think that will have to be its own video though. The most popular movie music for weddings. Stay tuned. But for October, I want to put on the glamour and the razzle-dazzle of some of those cinema classics. I always start off with some Moon River, one of the greatest pieces by the incomparable Henry Mancini. We'll come back to him later. This is a version arranged by Scala Kanga? I hope I said that right. But her versions for harp of jazzy music are really easy and consistently beautiful. Getting to play movie music is always being like let off the chain. Literally, in the case of Unchained Melody. It's October. I have to play something from the movie Ghost. Actually, Unchained Melody was originally from like a 1955 film called Unchained that was then covered by the Righteous Brothers that was then used in the movie Ghost. So it's a multi-movie song. This is part of a class of music called needle drops. These are popular songs that exist outside of films that are then brought in or used very iconically as part of a major motion picture. Another favorite in this genre is Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, which was used in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. This was such a popular piece with my audiences that I actually made an arrangement for harp myself, which is available on my website. Sadly, we lost Robert Redford, the great actor, bright blue eyes from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, just recently when I was doing this program. Of course, we also got a new Superman movie this summer, which was able to reuse some of the iconic original motifs from John Williams' score for the original 1978 Superman movie. Oh, it got me on a John Williams kick. Any excuse to go on a John Williams kick. Let's get a sampling of some John Williams classics. We did the theme from Superman, Across the Universe from Star Wars, some Schindler's List, the haunting melodies, and finishing off with Jurassic Park. I often get asked to play John Williams music for weddings. Across the Universe is a favorite, but surprisingly, the most frequent request is Jurassic Park. The first time someone asked me to play Jurassic Park for a wedding, I was a little worried. Why are we associating the bridesmaids with man-eating dinosaurs? The more I played it, the more fun it became. In fact, earlier this year, I was playing for a wedding show, which is where couples come through to pick out different vendors for their events. I'm playing and I notice a bride and her mother standing across the aisle, and I invite them over, here, let me play you some samples. And the bride, kind of embarrassed, goes, my fiance wants Jurassic Park. And the mother of the bride just went, ugh. No, I said. Let me explain. John Williams is a great classical composer, and it's a beautiful piece. Here, let me play it for you. So I played Jurassic Park. Oh, that sounds really good. It sounds so good on the harp. It's also a great emotional beat. I mean, this is the song that plays at that point in the movie when the characters finally get to see everything they've always wanted. It's a moment of wonder and joy and hope and pure delight. And the fact that any groom is associating that music with his wedding is a very healthy sign. I learn a lot of music because people request it, and one of the movie scores I got requested recently was Somewhere in Time by John Barry, another movie starring the handsome Christopher Reeves. And while we're being timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, we have to jump over and do A Time for Us from Romeo and Juliet, music by Nino Rota, who also did the music for like The Godfather, and Somewhere My Love, Laura's theme from Dr. Zhivago by Maurice Jarre. But by the time I've gotten all of these romantic melodies back to back, it's time to fall asleep on the harp. So let's bring in something with a bit more pizzazz, a bit more energy, maybe even some explosions. These are themes from James Bond. James Bond has so much good music, you can't really go wrong, but I always start with the themes from Dr. No, which is the very iconic melody. In memory care units, I usually grab Live and Let Die, one of the older favorites, but for more recent, I will always take Skyfall. No Time to Die is great. Adele, sign me up anytime. These melodies are so iconic. I mean, is there anyone else as debonair, as suave, as sneaky as James Bond? Well, I can only think of one other musical motif that comes near that level of sophistication. I'm talking, of course, about the Pink Panther. The melodies for the Pink Panther, composed, again, the great Henry Mancini. I told you we'd be back. And arranged for the harp by Mavis Kaufman. I picked up this score on a whim once when I was shopping in the harp music store at Lion and Healy. I didn't have a plan or a request, I just thought it looked fun. And it has become the most popular favorite piece I play in this whole program. Audiences love this one. It's a really great arrangement. It gets a lot of the sort of groovy, jazzy feel of it, but weirdly, it's actually one of the hardest pieces I play. So she does the opening 2 notes in this really great slide technique for pedal harp. It's a smart way to do it, but it means that I have to have both feet off the floor at the same time and balance the harp and myself with my non-existent core strength. I also like to add a little bit of percussion, maybe some finger snaps to it. Sometimes we want our action in some historical drama, some costumes, some grand vistas. I am an absolute addict for Trevor Jones' theme from The Last of the Mohicans. To create a historical setting, he invokes a lot of the rhythms and feels of like Celtic jigs. It is a haunting melody. I play it for literally hours on end. And he isn't the only one to invoke some English feels for a cozy atmosphere. The incomparable composer of Lord of the Rings, Howard Shore, needed to create that rolling English countryside feel for the Hobbits, and he borrowed? Yeah, that's a nice word, we'll say that. Borrowed the melody from the Old English hymn, This Is My Father's World. This is one of my family favorite hymns and one that I also arranged for the harp, again, available on my website. This lilting melody really feels like the green world it's celebrating and giving thanks for. It's one I love playing in the spring or near Thanksgiving, and I love playing it as a comparison to Howard Shore's full theme for the Hobbits. Actually, concerning Hobbits is another favorite I get asked to play for weddings. Hobbits do look like they have really great weddings. My weddings this month actually went really classic. We had Pachelbel's canon, and then the brides wanted some popular love songs, Bruno Mars, Taylor Swift. We had to play Taylor Swift this month. She wanted the theme from Love Story and The Fate of Ophelia. Unless I mention something arranged specifically for the harp, I'm usually playing these movie songs and pop songs from arrangements for piano that you can buy online on Music Notes or MuseScore. We also had Reformation Sunday, so I got to go to a big Lutheran church and play like these classic old hymns with a full-size organ. It just resonates in your bones. I've mentioned a lot of incredible composers, from Henry Mancini to John Williams, John Barry, Nino Rota, and I'm really passionate that some of the greatest composers ever are the people who write for the cinema. A couple hundred years ago, classical musicians wrote for the opera and the ballet, the big stage shows. Today, we don't have ballet houses, we have cinema. And those same incredible skills and techniques that went into classical compositions for opera and ballet now go into soundtracks. And among the great composers of the last century, I have to mention Ennio Morricone. This Italian composer was famous for doing a lot of spaghetti westerns. Basically, If you saw an early Clint Eastwood film, it probably had a Morricone score. I can't whistle, so I'm not going to play you the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Instead, I go back to his score for The Mission. Based on a true story, The Mission tells about the first Catholic missionaries to South America. They didn't speak any languages with the native tribes, so in order to start communication, they took their instruments, sat on the edge of the rainforest, and played music. When Morricone was writing for this movie, he had to come up with a melody so beautiful it would pull you out of the literal woodwork. And the result is a piece called Gabriel's Oboe. Also known as the song Nella Fantasy, you may have heard it by Celtic Women. This melody pulls together everything that is hopeful and beautiful. It basically makes me cry. I love it. Sometimes people ask me what my favorite song is. I could never pick one favorite, but if nobody else has any requests, at the end of my programs, I'll sneak in one of my lesser known favorites. It will come as a surprise to absolutely no one. I was a bit of a Shakespeare nerd. A lot of my early films were adaptations of Shakespeare. And I remember watching some of the adaptations by Kenneth Branagh and being blown away, not just by the bard or by the costumes, the setting, the actors, but by the incredible music of Patrick Doyle. Patrick Doyle is an Irish film and television composer. He worked on some of the Harry Potter movies, but he did most of the music for these Shakespeare movies. His score for Henry V is full of these tense, high orchestral strings that make the whole movie feel like a political thriller right up until the end. In the aftermath of battle, he brings in the most gorgeous, ringing choral melody, an adaptation of the prayer Non nobis Domine, not to our name, but to your name, O Lord, be the glory. It is high and haunting. It was such a contrast with the movie. It was one of those moments that burned into my brain of, oh, this is why we have music. This is why we play music. This is why I do what I do, and I take big, beautiful music on an enormous harp into memory care units and hospital settings and places that on the outside are not very beautiful. This is the power of music manifest. Want to hear some spooky songs? Check out some of my other themes for All Saints Day. What have you been listening to in October? What are some of your favorite movie scores? Leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to hear what happens next month. And may all of your months be filled with great music.